Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, a Middle Eastern tale from 1001 Nights. Long ago, in a land of the Middle East, there lived two brothers, Qasim and Ali Baba. Qasim married a wealthy woman, became the owner of a large shop, and lived in luxury. By contrast, Ali Baba married a poor woman and survived only by chopping wood and selling it at the market. Although he was poor, Ali Baba was honest, humble, and hardworking, making just enough to care for his wife and children. The fateful encounter. One day, while cutting wood in the forest, Ali Baba noticed the bushes nearby shaking violently. Curious, he hid behind a large rock and saw a group of horsemen approaching. He counted them, 40 in all, each armed with weapons, dressed alike, and looking fierce. He quickly realized these were not ordinary merchants, but a feared band of thieves. Ali Baba stayed hidden, watching carefully. When they reached a tall cliff, the leader of the thieves stepped forward and shouted loudly, "Open, sesame!" Instantly, a huge stone door in the cliff slid open, revealing a deep cave. The thieves led their horses inside, carrying heavy sacks. Once they had disappeared, the door closed by itself as if nothing had ever been there. Ali Baba was both terrified and amazed. He waited silently until the thieves emerged, now empty-handed, clearly having stored their loot inside. The leader again cried out, "Close, sesame!" and the door shut tightly. Then the gang mounted their horses and vanished into the forest. The secret of the treasure. When he was sure they were gone, Ali Baba cautiously approached the cliff. He repeated the magic words, "Open, sesame!" and to his amazement, the stone door opened wide. Inside, he was stunned by the sight. Piles of gold, silver, jewels, and precious gems stacked like mountains. This was the hidden treasure the thieves had plundered over the years. Knowing he must be careful, Ali Baba took only a small amount of gold, filled his bag, and left. Before departing, he remembered to say, "Close, sesame," so the stone sealed shut again. He hurried home to his wife. Overjoyed, they decided to weigh the coins. Ali Baba's wife borrowed a scale from Qasim's household, but Qasim's curious wife secretly smeared wax on the bottom of the pan. When Ali Baba returned the scale, a gold coin stuck to it. Shocked, Qasim demanded an explanation. Eventually, Ali Baba confessed the truth. The greed of Qasim. Greedy by nature, Qasim immediately planned to seize the treasure for himself. He prepared 10 donkeys with many sacks and went straight to the cave. Just as Ali Baba described, he cried, "Open, sesame!" and entered. The mountains of treasure dazzled him. Qasim hurried to fill the sacks, taking far more than he could carry. But when he tried to leave, he suddenly forgot the magic words. Panicked, he cried, "Open barley, open wheat, open corn," but nothing worked. At that moment, the thieves returned. Seeing unfamiliar donkeys outside, they rushed in and caught Qasim. With no escape, Qasim was killed mercilessly, his body left behind as a warning. Ali Baba's grief. When Qasim did not return, his wife ran to Ali Baba in despair. Sensing the worst, Ali Baba went to the cave. He opened it with the magic words and found his brother's mutilated body. Heartbroken, he carried the remains home. With the help of Morgiana, a clever old servant woman, they arranged a proper burial so no one would suspect the truth. Thus, Qasim's death remained a family secret. The thieves grow suspicious. When the thieves discovered the body missing, they realized someone else knew their secret. Furious, their leader ordered them to track down the intruder. One thief disguised himself as a merchant and secretly marked Ali Baba's door with chalk. But Morgiana noticed the mark. Cleverly, she drew the same symbol on every door in the village. When the thieves returned, they were confused, unable to tell which house to attack, and left in frustration. The leader then devised a deadlier plan. Disguised as a wealthy merchant, he arrived at Ali Baba's house with a caravan of camels carrying huge jars. Pretending the jars contained oil, he asked for shelter. In truth, each jar concealed one of the thieves, waiting to strike at night. Morgiana's wisdom. That night, Morgiana went to fetch oil for cooking. Hearing faint noises from inside the jars, she realized the plot. Without hesitation, she boiled water and poured it into each jar, killing the hidden thieves one by one. Only the leader escaped. Sometime later, the leader returned in disguise, befriending Ali Baba, and was invited to a banquet at his house. But Morgiana recognized him. During the feast, she suddenly drew a dagger and struck him down in front of everyone. Though Ali Baba was shocked, when she explained the truth, he was deeply grateful. Her courage and loyalty had saved his life. the ending and its meaning. From then on, Ali Baba was the only one who knew the secret of the treasure cave. He lived honestly, using the wealth he had taken to support his family and help the villagers, never hoarding greedily. The tale of Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves became one of the most famous stories of 1001 Nights, passed down across the world as a lesson about greed, courage, and the triumph of wit over violence.